video, we're gonna be diving into the stuff that really matters, which is how do I get new clients? Now, from working with countless of businesses over the years and working with consultants and being a consultant myself, it's fundamentally the biggest question that is on everybody's mind, and it is, how do I get new clients? And this is something that I've really obsessed about over a decade of trial and error, and I've actually perfected a system that answers that fundamental questions, which is, how do I get more customers and how do I get more clients? When I started my consultancy business, the position that I was in is that I didn't have any money. I wasn't fortunate enough to have a business loan or to have a rich relative that, could give me money to start my own business. That's really the beauty about having a consultancy business. There's really no excuses. You can go out there and you can load a couple of dollars on a VoIP account and start dialing for dollars and start making calls and looking for new clients. You don't need to have a nest egg put away or $5,000 or $10,000 and do a first production run and look for manufacturers. It's literally just you and the services that you provide. And the way that I did that is by literally just firing up a list, firing up my phone, and starting jamming on the telephone. I didn't have money to run AdWords or, Facebook ads or any of the fancy things that are out there. I just kept it basic, and then I started to really look at patterns. How many calls do I need to make in order to get out of a proposal? How many proposals do I need to send out in order to land a client? I would really use and look at these numbers as kind of like a measuring stick to my output and saying, this is how much work I put in and this is how much output I get. Every win that I had along the way was my first client. It took me a few days of cold calling to get my first client. I had a whiteboard in my room and I would put those clients in there and would really serve as a reminder to me that it is possible that you can do it, If you put in the work, the results will come. Really, looking at successful people, they're willing to do all the things that unsuccessful people are simply not willing to do. I put it to work and I was willing to pay the price of success, and just to kind of put my head down and bury myself into this thing and not have any excuses, but just to hammer that telephone hunting for new clients. And I'd bring up Google and I would search for a certain keyword, whether it's a lawyer or a dentist or a doctor, whatever it might be. I would basically pick the phone that were running Google AdWords and I would call them and I'd say, hey, I'm calling about your Google AdWords account. I can see that, you're not listed on the left-hand side of the page. And then I would then be pitching them my online marketing services for how I was gonna do it. And this wasn't some crazy idea. There was hundreds of different businesses around the world that were just calling on these same exact client. The waters were bloody with competition, but I knew that either I could apply this process and then I could call them up and I could articulate the value that I could provide to them in solving the number one problem that all businesses and consultants face, which is, how do I get more clients? And I did it in a prove it framework that I could certainly just outwork everybody and I could be getting clients and be getting wins on the board, and I could use these different clients as a stepping stone, and off the back are the results that I was providing them to really scale up my business and to really grow my consulting kingdom. Now, as I just went through with you, the way that I started my consultancy business was through cold calling. However, if I was to do it again and I had no money, I was starting back at the ground from zero. The thing that I would be looking at doing is still doing cold outreach and cold calling and these things, but I would do it in a very different way that, would allow me to separate myself from the noise in the current marketplace of the amount of people that are making cold calls. The way that you can do this is by using multimodality cold outreach. And that's just basically a fancy way of saying using audio, visual, and screen capture to kind of reach out to people cold and provide them value straight out the gate. That, allows you to kind of separate yourself from all the people that are cold calling businesses from all around the world. So a great way to do that, which you can just do on any laptop, is use a screen recording software. Either you're using a Mac, a great one to use is QuickTime, or either you're using Chrome or anything like that. A fantastic plugin is one called Loom, Loom. Basically, what that does is it allows you to just simply capture the screen and give kind of a warm talk through of what is that's up on your screen with your audio and your video, and it really allows to kind of articulate any pain points and shows someone almost like you're sitting down right next to them. So I'll fire up an example of how to do that. So say for instance, you're a web designer or a digital marketing consultant or a copywriter. The kind of market that you're looking to serve is financial planners. So the way that I would do it today is I would fire up Google like I've got right here, and I'd type in financial planners on Google. And I'll have a look at all the different websites and kind of have a look at who is it that I'm going to be outreaching out to. Now, outreach. The good thing about it is that, like using a sniper rifle instead of a shotgun, it basically allows you to create a hit list of specifically your dream buys and your dream client that you're looking at reaching out to, and allows you to literally reach out to them on a one-by-one personal platform to really do that through. So again, say you're looking to basically serve financial planners. So I'd bring up to Google search on a few people, clicking on their ads, on the people that are running AdWords. Then I'd also be having a look at some of the companies that are appearing organically, looking for, again, individual businesses and not huge different corporate entities where they're just gonna have a multiple different kind of gatekeepers to get through, and all those kind of hurdles is what you want to be looking at. Who are the people that you think that you can kind of get cut through and get hold of the business person or the marketing manager very, very quickly. So these two are the examples that I've just fired up. Here, I've never looked at these sites before, Future Assist. So what I want to do is, say for instance, I'm a web designer, and I'm trying to reach out to people that are financial planners. So I would want to go ahead and essentially fire up Loom, which you can see here on the screen, and it'll log me into one-click access that I've got right here. Basically, what this allows you to do is not only can I record the audio visual, but then it can basically get a screen of the webcam as well, which is just another great way to kind of put a face to the name which you're reaching out to people, and you're gonna be talking to people. It's great that you can see you and they can also see the things on the screen that you're talking about. So I'd go ahead and say, okay, let's record with my screen, the current tab, and then essentially away you go. And then you're off. So a way that I would do it is I would give you a little walkthrough. Say, I was looking for financial planners and I was reaching out to them as a web designer. I'd fire this thing up and I would ideally like to have this person's name. If not, I just dive straight into it and say, hey guys, as you can see here, I've just taken the liberty of putting together this short video. I was taking a look at your website, which I saw that you guys were running a Google AdWords campaign, and it's also appearing in the organic listings. But I noticed that you didn't really have a clear and emotive kind of call to action or great headline on your homepage. So some of the things that I've seen here is also that you've got your navigation up on the top nav, which basically is what we call a bleeding point. Bleeding people away from what you obviously want them to do, which is get in contact with you. So what you can do is go ahead and just remove all that top navigation, and you can make this headline a bit more compelling by writing something that speaks with the end benefit that your audience is going for a little bit more. Then I'd scroll down the page here and you've got some good trust points. However, you haven't got your call to action repeated throughout the page, so you definitely are leaving a lot of money on the table. And this is basically what I've gone ahead and done is I've put together a 23 list checkpoint of your website showing you 23 different things that you could do right now on your existing website to improve the profitability, and I'd love to schedule 5 minutes and run you through that completely free of charge. So go ahead and just reply to me, and I look forward to hearing back from you. Tick, right? That's over. So then once I've got that, I can basically use that in LinkedIn outreach. I can use it in cold email outreach. I can use it and send it over Twitter or Facebook Messenger, whatever the different medium is. But what does it do? It immediately separates me from the sea of noise of everybody just calling up and basically just asking for things, asking for time. This is leading with our best foot forward and providing value before we even speak to somebody. And really, providing that to them, they should make the time out of their day to speak to us because I've gone ahead and provided value for them. There's lots of different instances. You can get really clever with this, guys, and really look for ways that you can think of what is that ultimate thing that that person wants in that market. Is it to lose weight? Is it to get more clients? And what can you do in a little quick video like this to move them towards that desired outcome of a little bit closer?